Welcome to the documentary. We're going to talk about a couple key topics, man. Take a journey. The journey is going to lead us to interviewing a lot of people who are really in the streets right now going through this, the everyday life of a black man and a black woman. The key topics are Black Lives Matter, police brutality. We're going to talk about the natural hair on a woman. We're going to talk about uplifting a black man, uplifting a black woman. The main thing that we're going to talk about in this journey is liberation, how to get liberated. Liberation means basically us not depending on others for our way of life. And my main thing is that it's capitalism. Capitalism will get us liberated because we will be dependent on ourselves. And that comes for any kind of liberation comes from supporting black business. When we support our own, the doors are wide open. There's nothing we cannot do. So we're gonna dive into on some interviews, man, and really get into the streets and get a feel for what's going on.
New Orleans, Louisiana, unarmed. September 14th, 2013, Jonathan Farrell, Charlotte, North Carolina, unarmed. July 17th, 2014, Eric Garner, Staten Island, New York, unarmed. August 9th, 2014, Michael Brown, Ferguson, Missouri, unarmed. In the past decade alone, these men and hundreds of others have lost their lives to police. Local police report to the FBI killing at least 400 people a year. From 2006 to 2012, a white police officer killed a black person at least twice a week in this country. Which brings us back to Ferguson, Missouri, where according to a report in the Daily Beast, in 2009, police officers charged a man for property damage because he bled on their uniforms while they arrested.
What's up, man? Again, you already know ShaBazz. We here with
Quincy Blake.
Alright, I'll tell a little bit of your story.
2 years ago, I was illegally arrested and detained. Spent 45 days in jail, all for a lie. Police are allowed to lie, but we aren't. But taking this opportunity, I'm not gonna, use it as a crutch, but I'm gonna use it as motivation, and try to fight for injustice and try to bring equality back. I'm out here today at the rally, and I'm just trying to do my part.
Thank you.
Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. That is the topic that we talk about. It's a very, 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 very simple, right? But it gets mixed up so much because people don't understand what it means. I'm gonna break it down exactly what it means. When we scream Black Lives Matter, all we are saying is that we want the black life to matter as much as everybody else's. So when people say, oh, well, blue lives matter and all lives matter, there's no such thing. I'm gonna break down why the blue lives matter and the black lives matter is two different things. Blue lives matter, it's not a real thing, it's make believe, it's fake. Because number one, when have you ever seen in the country where a cop has had any kind of physical harm to him, emotional harm to him, anything happen to him and things not end up in death? So basically, if you do anything to a cop, something's gonna happen to you. Everybody knows that. Nobody would ever be stupid enough to fight a cop back or to stare at a cop, to yell at a cop, anything like that, because they know what's gonna happen to them. That's the thing, because you throw Blue Lives Matter in there, and you have never seen in this country a cop being harmed or anything like that, and something that happened. There's always been some kind of consequence. The problem with Black Lives Matter is that there is no consequence. You can kill a black person, and there's no consequence afterward. We have seen it happen many times over hundreds and hundreds of years of black people getting raped, killed, harassed, tortured, and nothing ever happens. And that's why we say Black Lives Matter, because we're saying, hey, look, I'm a black person in this country. Why is my life not valued at the same as others?
So as you see with people like Andrew Davis, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, who else? List goes on. We go Rush, we go Fred Hampton. They were targeted, and the beautiful thing now that you have with the Black Lives Matter movement is there's no one particular leader. So you have basically anybody can join it that's part of the movement, that's affiliated, anybody that want to be part of this kind of movement, they can join in. Now, on the side of that, I see it lacks something because it lacks leadership. Where if you have a strong presence in, say for instance, Houston, where you have a strong leader and we are at least a big group that doing being activists, you can have little groups pop up in different places where they say, oh, I'm part of Black Lives Matter too, but they don't represent Black Lives Matter in a certain way, they can do basically anything they want to do. They can say, oh, well, news can say, hey, that's Black Lives Matter right there. And they can be doing all kind of crazy stuff, and there's no form of leadership. I think about the Panthers, and you couldn't just join the Panthers. There was things he had to do before he was able to. You couldn't just walk up and just join the Panthers. Things you have to do before you can just join the group, join the movement. And see, with Black Lives Matter, there's none of that. So like I said, it's smart, and it's also some things that needs to be touched up. But as far as the movement goes, I love the movement. I think it's beautiful, and I think that people are taking it to a level that needs to be took to. People are not understanding what it means. To me, what it means is I'm tired of seeing people of my skin tone being judged, being singled out, being killed, and nothing happened to them.
Like wanting to sorry, I think people be too focused on. I don't want them to say sorry to us. I don't be caring about that kind of stuff.
It's not even about them acknowledging us at this point.
They're not gonna acknowledge us. But even
because they know what they're doing.
But even if they do, it's like a percentage for me.
We take it over. That's the problem. They don't want us to be great, but we gonna be great.
But even though I don't care about no sorry, I'm more about liberation. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to be liberated. That's all I worry about. Everything else, it'll come in time. I don't care about no sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I want my kids to go to wherever you teaching at. Real talk. But that was one thing I wanted to ask you, regarding your teaching, are you gonna be an example as well? Because I know that teachers, you guys have a curriculum that you guys have to follow.
This is what I do. Okay, so I have an agenda of things where I teach, and what I do is I'm teaching.
Go ahead and surrender the country because it's ours in the first place.
Yeah, I teach history, so I go with civil rights, but also adding different things. I add in Cedar Chavez for the Mexicans. I add in Angela Davis for.
So you can kind of tweak it.
So we tweak a little bit, but I just let them know everything.
You need to know your history.
Yeah, I let them know everything. Right. So when I teach, I stay on the agenda, but I teach the whole thing. I don't leave out anything. If they want to know something, I tell them the truth. They want to know about the KKK, I teach them. Hey, it started in church. You know what I'm saying? I let them know, and then what it is.
I respect that, man. I respect that.
Because here's the thing, there's no fallacy in the truth. If you fucking tell them the truth, you don't have to worry about what they're gonna do to me. It's the truth.
So what do you think is next for us as a people?
As a people, that's a good question. I think blacks have to do a couple of things to change where we are right now. First thing we have to do is stop being scared of being unified. We have a lot of different ethnic groups and a lot of different blacks that come from a lot of different cultures, but we are so worried on focusing on a difference between all of us and not focusing on how we are unified. You have Jamaicans, you have Haitians, you have blacks from Cuba, you have blacks in South America, you have blacks in America, you have freaking Africans, a lot of different countries in Africa, and it's kind of we are all so worried about how we are different, we're not understanding we are all the same. You put me next to a German black person or next to a Jamaican black person, we all look alike, we all have the same skin, so we need to understand that the bigger issue is us staying unified, because it's power in numbers. 3/4 of the world is of color, so we need to be brothers in this whole struggle, because we all have the same kind of challenge you have to face every day.
What is liberation to you?
All right, liberation. That's my key word. That's the word I always focus on, right? Now, what it means is this. Liberation is us depending on ourselves. There is no way we should be going to others for our goods. If you look in our neighborhoods, we go to others for our nail shop. We go to others for our beauty spot stores. We go to others for our grocery stores, all that kind of stuff. If you go in a nail shop, it's ran by other people who don't use none of them products, but we are depending on them. You know what I'm saying? For our way of life, about everything. We are the people who are always consuming things. We are a consumer. We always buy stuff. But being a consumer is bad because it means we are relying on other people. We need to start making our own businesses and not being so stuck in their ways.
Black family. Well, my black family, I come from a huge black family. Been raised in a 2-parent household. Definitely taught me that 2 black people could work together successfully in a household and manage children and pay bills and do things the right way, or what's perceived as the right way. My family was pretty much gearheaded by the women in my family. They taught me that your work ethic can pretty much take you anywhere you want to go. We did struggle, but they always taught us, you don't have to look like your struggle. pretty much we use religion as our anchor. We could have fell apart so many times. I mean, every family has their secrets, but we always relied on my grandmother's leadership, music, and religion to bring us back together again.
My black family, we weren't huge, but we're a nice size. On my maternal side, it's pretty much majority, actually on both sides, it's pretty much majority women. But I would say they emphasized success. So whatever you found a niche in or you were good in, that's what they pushed you to do, and that's what they included in their life lessons for you, so that you can be more proficient at it. I would say, even though I grew up, my mom was a single parent. My grandparents were together for 30 plus years, and so I was always taught that family comes first, and how to run a successful family, and the dynamics of it, which I think are very important. Black love. For me, black love, I don't think you can have like proper black love unless you know how to love yourself. But that kind of starts with in a black family. But so that's pretty much what I see when I think of black love. Is the embracing. It's you embracing yourself, and when you see it in other people, you adhering to that and bringing them in and spreading that love among them.
Black love to me has always been challenged. That's why when I see black love flourish, to me, nothing is more beautiful. I think that we are so much stronger together, and no one understands us better than we understand ourselves. And that's just, to me, how black love just moves. I mean, we move better when we're together. We're stronger together.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of what black love entails, unity.
Mm-hmm. Why I love being black? Because being black is lit. No. No, but seriously, I love being black because it's so complex. Like, I love everything that entails with being black. I mean, my hair defies gravity. My skin absorbs sunlight. I mean, like, what else? What more can you ask for? It's just everything. The struggle of being a black woman, to me, is beautiful.
Yeah, I would concur on that. The reason I love being black is because, for one, I was taught that within, and then I'm a big history person. I've always excelled in history classes, and even after, school, I still read history books. So I have learned we were the first here, and from the looks that we will probably be the last here. So we're the parents of Earth itself, if you will. So that comes with a lot of responsibility, but also prestige, along with the fact that our people are pretty much invincible and unbreakable, and no matter what the struggle is, we always seem to find a way to overcome. And I think that's something pretty special.
Black Lives Matter. Honestly, the way I feel about it is we're fighting an old battle, we're just fighting it different.
Black Lives Matter to me, I'm not gonna lie to you, I think it's ridiculous that that has to even be specified. But I think it's just a statement that to turn a mirror up on yourselves. If you feel like your lives matter so much, when you see a human being who goes through the same struggles and probably more than you, why is it that their lives mean less than yours? Or at least that is what society shows us. But to me, Black Lives Matter is the statement not only to the world but to black people itself that you do matter. As much as the society may tell you you don't, you do.
Alright, so in this next part of the documentary, I kind of want to highlight on what that word liberation means, and I want to show it, okay? So I'm going to take a transition, and we're going to basically highlight on 3 different young millennials that's out here doing stuff a little bit differently. We grew up with the stigma of, we have to have a 9 to 5, work 9 hours, 5 days a week, and Basically, that's the only way to get any kind of freedom. But that's not how it is. Black people have always been creative, and I'm gonna go out and highlight on some young individuals that are getting it. Let's get it, man. Let me get up. Let's go on the road, man. I got some trips planned. Let's go on the road. Let's do it. All right, man. First day of the journey. On Denton, Texas. Putting GPS, 45 minutes. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna go in here. So, he just texted me something. Let's see how it goes. All right, checking in. So we are here in the studio, Drill Nelson's house. He turned his house to a studio. Full-time YouTuber. We're gonna check out how he basically does this whole thing, edit the videos and everything. So let's get. So as Drill Nelson is finishing up in his video, I kind of want to take it a step further, basically, and kind of just get a hands-on feel of basically how he does everything. So check this out.
So y'all, my routine, even though it's daytime, I'm usually recording at night, but come on. About to go in here and just make it do what it do. Back. Is anybody in here? Good. I hope nobody's in the gym. That's why I can have it to myself.
The regular motherfucker.
Yeah. Got the gym to myself. Hey, y'all.
All right, man. We are checking in. It's the last part. Worked out. Ate. Showed me his meal prep, did everything. So we are here in the last part. Basically, edit the video, upload it, and basically just answering questions that we are interested in seeing. So my thing is this: what made you want to get into YouTube? Because you have your degree, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so you have a college degree. What made you want to get into the YouTube thing?
Man, I've been wanting to do YouTube for a minute, mainly because I see how it changes a lot of people's lives. Like Chris Jones came from nothing to now he's living out his dream, being able to be independent, basically an entrepreneur, being able to run your own show, do what you want to do, without having to answer to nobody. You on your own schedule pretty much. And so, yeah, man, like I said, that's like the main thing, man, just being able to do my own thing. And fitness is something that I've always been into, so.
Everyone can work a 9 to 5. You see now more African Americans going to the business world and trying to basically get some kind of independence, trying to get the name for themselves. What basically pushed you to go this route as far as like just YouTube instead of like taking your degree and going to work for some 500 company or something like that?
Good question. That is a very good damn question. And the thing is, man, it's easy for me. I could easily take my degree and go work in the office and make good money, good quality money, good living for myself. But I wouldn't be happy. And that is the main thing, because a lot of people aren't happy, so therefore a lot of people making unhappy decisions. When you're unhappy, you make unhappy decisions, point blank. When you're happy, you make good decisions. When you tend to make more good decisions, more happy decisions. So my thing is, if being independent, if start my own business, create my own business is what's going to make me happy in the long run, then that needs to be my focus. Yeah, I've got my degree. It's not going to waste, what I'm gonna do is I'm using the knowledge that I gained from that, and I'm gonna put it into my own tools, put it into my business, and make it grow from there. Because it's hard to be passionate about somebody else's business,
Right.
more passionate about somebody else's business than your own business. It's just like, you know, your house. Why would you gonna worry about somebody else's household when you got a household right here that needs work? You know, so that's one of the reasons.
All right. So, day one down. Great interview, YouTuber. They gave me a good perspective on basically like how that field works and how it is just being a black man in that field. All right, but we got another email from a lady in Dallas, Texas. She's on the other side. She's in North Dallas. Named Miss Brown. She says she is a small-time business owner. She does Airbnb. So she owns her own spot for Airbnb. That's good. She works in the corporate world. She also drives Uber, and she does other side jobs. She's working on something else big for marketing. So she's like a good candidate. So we'll go ahead and interview. You already know what this means. Let's get dressed. Let's go. Day 2. Let's go. Here, they not have a problem with is, okay, braids and everything like that, our culture. We, for blacks, in my idea, is we are so kind of like free with our culture, okay? So you, at the beginning, you would never catch a black girl, say for instance, you would never catch a black girl a year ago wearing braids or anything like that, twist, until you see whites and other people wearing braids, and you're like, oh no, you can't do that. That's our stuff. And you now see us kind of, okay, well, I'm gonna show you how to do it. The 2 little braids, that's what we do. That's not what y'all do. Right. But in the beginning, we didn't do that. Why? Because we so focused on, oh, it looks bad, it looks ghetto, it looks this and this. So I think that's a big problem with our own community, as far as like we are scared to embrace what we are, and then in a sense we are giving away our culture, as far as like you see like different sorority fraternities letting non-blacks in, and things like that. And then when you have
based on their skin tone, you're saying that that darker skin tone doesn't matter as much as that lighter skin tone. So I feel like people are having a misconception about it and thinking that Black Lives Matter means no, only our lives matter over everybody else. No, it's we're trying to say we matter as well. Like we are all supposed to matter, but for some reason we're getting treated significantly different.
Okay. So you know, there's been a string of basically unarmed people getting killed all the way from Trayvon Martin on. So what does that do for you personally when you see like different images and on the screen or on TV of just basically people who look just like you, same skin color, you being killed and nothing happened? What does it do for you?
It's honestly depressing because it's just like, especially when I watched the video of Alton Sterling,
in Louisiana.
Yeah, like for people to find people making an excuse for what happened, that just absolutely disgusts me, because it's like you see this man as not even a human at this point. Like he was laying down, but he was no longer a threat for you to shoot him, right? So it's just really depressing to see people in that state. And I think at this point we kind of have to stop trying to make, I guess, our counterparts happy, like the white people. We just got to figure out what we can do, because this is going to continue happening in the meantime, but how can we do something different to counteract that? And honestly, I don't know the solution to that, but we got to start working together to figure out what we
I think that's very real what you said, because a lot of people say, oh, this is the way, this is the way, but it honestly is no right answer. But I think that what I'm pushing for this whole Dr. Bean series about basically liberation movement is, I'm trying to say, well, you know, back for right now is getting liberated, as far as like us A lot of times we have a lot of people right now have degrees, but us holding those jobs. I noticed that with Trayvon Martin case, a lot of people would say, oh, on Twitter, back when Twitter was really good, they were saying, oh, well, we need attorneys, we need this like this. And I say, that's true. Now that we have those degrees, we have to actually fulfill those spots, those openings. Exactly. We need to make sure we make strides in those areas because we have the opportunity now to do that. So basically, the liberation movement is basically pushing us to get liberated. Let's have our own businesses. So I asked you to interview because you are trying to own your own business. You have different things you're doing, working odd jobs, but you are leading to something. Right. You own your own thing. That's a big deal right now. Black women doing that, and you see a lot of times is that black women are the ones who are more charismatic in this issue because if you look at people like Angela Davis, where we can go all so Jordan Troop, we can go anywhere. It's always a black, especially with Black Panthers, always black women that was the leaders of certain things. Right. So it's black women they're good with stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all, I think it goes hand in hand though. Even with your hair. Yeah. No woman's gonna do nothing that deliberately men don't like. So if a man accepts the black woman's hair, he accepts you how you are, and then you are going to do how it is too. Right. So that makes a lot of sense.
Man, just wrapped up Miss Brown's interview. Amazing, right? She has a different perspective on a lot of stuff, man. Really opened my eyes to a woman's aspect in it. But I was thinking, I said, you know what? We've been in America. Let's take a trip outside America, go out in the States and see what's going on. So I got somebody that is in Europe right now. Her name's Ashley, and she's one of my workers, and she's going to do an interview on somebody on Black Lives Matter in Europe.
Alright guys, about to touch down in Europe. The flight time from Dallas to Eastern Europe is around, roughly 12 hours if you take a straight flight. So again, we're coming over here just to get a different perspective on Black Lives Matter.
Hello, my name is Ashley. I'm going to be conducting an interview today with Joshua, and it's going to be on the topic Black Lives Matter. We're here in Eastern Europe where he lives. He lives in Hungary, and so we're going to be speaking about Black Lives Matter and how it affects him. All right, Joshua, so how are you today?
Doing good, yeah.
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Yeah. Okay, I wanted to know, what do you feel about Black Lives Matter?
Okay, it's a very interesting topic, although my facts may not be really accurate. I feel the whole idea of prioritizing the black race, it's based on the fact that the black race seems underappreciated, and it's based on another fact that there's a school of thought that feels like the black race, especially in the States, in the United States, is associated with a lot of negativity. So a lot of crime, a lot of antisocial behavior, a lot of generally everything negative. I mean, so. A lot of cases, the average black person, the average black guy, is seen as a criminal. Okay. So basically, a guy on the street with a hoodie, he's seen as a drug addict. He's seen as a thief. You guys.
All right. So would you say that is similar to the way black people are seen here in Eastern Europe, or is that something you guys suffer from as well? Or
I mean, the point about being black is it's quite an interesting topic. It's quite dicey. So I think a lot of times, first of all, depends on the person, or it depends on who is looking at you or what they see in you. So, for instance, if I generally, I think appearance has a role to play. So definitely, if I'm going to go to a place, if I'm going to step into a hotel with a very clean suit, like a $20,000 suit, I don't think the first thought would be that I'm a criminal.
Yeah.
I mean, I may be thinking for a fraud star, but I would not be. I may be seen also as a successful black person. You get it? So if I go into a hotel with a very crazy hairstyle,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have this crazy hoodie and a lot of tattoos, and I mean people tend to associate certain appearance with. So I feel a lot of times they judge the black people first of all based on appearance before they even begin to speak or interact with them.
Okay. So now that leads me to want to ask you, do you think that their appearance is based off of culture? Like, what if this is a cultural appearance? And what if it may be perceived as crazy to a different culture, but it might be culturally right with them? Like, their appearance may be culturally right. Maybe this culture wears a certain type of shirt or a certain type of haircut. Like, guys, you know, back in the 90s, guys wore braids. So, but guys of other races didn't wear braids. So that's what I'm saying. So do you think it's other cultures being defensive of a cultural appearance?
I think that, definitely that has a role to play. I mean, yeah. It's I could use an example here. A lot of times when when white people here see black people doing things they are not used to, which is common among black, which is like the cultural thing among some among a specific nationality, let's say a specific African community, they tend to see it as weird. So yeah, definitely culture has a role to play in association. Yeah.
Okay, and then lastly, I want to ask you about how does the African or black community interact with each other here?
Oh, interesting. I mean, it varies from place to place, varies from country to country. I've been in a couple of places, like I mean, here in the capital.
Here.
Oh, here in the capital city.
Yes.
I'd say it's not the best, but it's a work in progress, because there a lot of times once you see a black person, once you see someone who's African, right, you know he's African, so you just have this informal way of greeting, and then I think it's a bit cordial. It's not the best. I mean, there are a lot of things that can be put in place to make it better. So
okay, what do you think sets the divide that is present to where it's not the best right now? Do you think it's different? You know, I would assume that it's different African countries.
That's basically the most important. That's just the best, the most defining factor, because you know, people be like, oh, I'm from this country, I'm from this country,
yes.
And so you know, yeah, they tend to have this nationalistic differences, and so it kind of rubs off in the fact that the African, but I guess it shows among African community, but when they are with in the presence of white people or foreigners, and then they tend to keep this aside and be as one. So yeah, it plays a lot. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this interview, and thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
All right.